July 26, 1974. The summer sun shimmered across the sands of Cape Cod. Tourists walked barefoot along the coast, seagulls cried overhead, and the quiet town of Provincetown buzzed with its usual mix of artists, vacationers, and fishermen. It was the kind of day that made everything feel ordinary, safe. But what happened just beyond Race Point Beach that afternoon would stain that peace forever. A teenage girl was walking her dog through the sand dunes. It was hot. The trail was mostly deserted. As she moved deeper into the brush, her dog suddenly tensed, growled, and bolted ahead. It darted behind a thicket of beach grass, barking madly. When the girl caught up, she froze. There, half buried in the sand, was a body. The corpse of a woman lay face down on a beach towel. Her head turned slightly to one side, her hair still reddish-brown, still tied in a ponytail with a golden-flecked elastic. Her body was decomposing in the heat, but it was what was missing that made this discovery so chilling. The woman had no hands. They had been cleanly removed. Her teeth were gone, not knocked out, but surgically extracted. Someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to ensure she could never be identified. She had been dead for at least 10 days, maybe 3 weeks. The heat and elements had already begun to erase the evidence. Yet the brutality remained. Her skull was crushed from a blow so violent it nearly split her head open. Her jeans and underwear had been removed, folded, and tucked beneath her body, almost like a twisted attempt at decency after the horror. The scene was a paradox. The brutality of a violent murder, paired with the eerie calm of a body laid carefully on a towel, in a place usually reserved for sunbathers and picnics. It was clear this wasn't random, this wasn't spontaneous, this was calculated. The Provincetown police were called, and what they encountered was a mystery that would grow colder, darker, and more disturbing with every passing year. The woman was estimated to be between 25 and 35 years old, about 5 feet 6 inches, around 145 pounds. Her toenails were painted pink. Her body showed no defensive wounds, no signs she had fought back. Perhaps she had been asleep. Perhaps she had trusted the person who killed her. Her expensive dental work suggested she had come from some means, crowns and bridge work that cost thousands, far more than the average American at the time could afford. Yet she had no purse, no ID, no shoes, no vehicle nearby, no missing persons report that matched. It was as if someone had scrubbed her from existence. They began calling her the Lady of the Dunes. Police started with what little they had. They checked every motel, every campground, every ferry arrival and departure, every missing woman across the eastern United States. Nothing matched. They released composite sketches, facial reconstructions, even hired artists to sculpt her possible likeness from her skull. But not a single soul stepped forward to claim her. The case spiraled into one of the most confounding cold cases in American history. Was she a drifter? A vacationer who never checked out of her hotel? Someone living off the grid? Or worse, was she local and everyone was too afraid to say it? Over the decades, dozens of theories surfaced. Some were hopeful, some absurd. One woman from Maryland claimed she believed the Lady of the Dunes was her missing sister. But, DNA testing ruled it out. Others suggested she was involved in organized crime, that her killer had professional experience in erasing identity. Still others believed she was a sex worker taken from a city and disposed of in the quiet, empty dunes. Then, in 2015, an unexpected theory came from one of the most unusual places, Hollywood. Joe Hill, a horror writer and the son of legendary author Stephen King, claimed he spotted something strange in the background of the movie Jaws. In one of the crowd scenes filmed in the summer of 1974 on Martha's Vineyard, just months before the Lady of the Dunes was discovered, Hill noticed a woman. She had long reddish-brown hair, she wore jeans, and a blue bandana, just like the one found under the Lady of the Dunes body. The scene was filmed only a few miles away from the crime scene. Could she have been an extra? Could her killer have seen her that day? It was a wild theory, the timeline fit, the appearance fit. But no one could prove the woman in the movie was her. And if it was, it didn't explain who killed her or why. Still, the theory reignited interest. In 2000, the FBI added her DNA to their CODIS database. No matches. In 2010, new facial reconstructions were made using updated modeling software. Still no family came forward, still no identity. The case seemed hopeless. Until October 2022. That year, using forensic genealogy, investigators used tiny fragments of DNA from her remains to build a genetic profile. Then, through family trees, distant cousins, and genealogy databases, they finally found a match. After 48 years, the Lady of the Dunes had a name: Ruth Marie Terry. She was 37 years old, born in Tennessee, recently married, a woman with a family, a past, a life. Her identity unlocked a new chapter of horror. She had married a man named Guy Rockwell Moldovan, an antiques dealer with a dark past. In the 1960s, Moldovan had been the prime suspect in the disappearance of his ex-wife and stepdaughter in Seattle. It was believed he had murdered them, dismembered their bodies, and disposed of them in a septic tank. But without hard evidence, he was never convicted. Now, nearly 15 years later, his new wife Ruth ends up dead, her face bashed in, her teeth and hands removed to prevent identification, and he, once again, vanished from the public eye. The FBI now believes Moldovan was responsible for Ruth's death, that he killed her during a trip to Massachusetts in 1974 and dumped her body in the dunes. Afterward, he returned home and told people she had left him, that she wanted to, start a new life. It was a lie that no one questioned for almost 5 decades. He remarried, he continued his antiques business, he lived a full life. He died in 2002 without ever facing a day of justice. And Ruth? She remained buried, faceless, forgotten. Her family never even knew she was missing. Moldovan had told them she'd cut off contact, that she had left him. They believed it. She wasn't a ghost. She was a victim of a cunning manipulator, a con man, and likely a serial killer. And no one listened. The truth came too late, but it came. There's something chilling about a murder that happens in silence. No gunshots, no screams, no blood on the sidewalk, just a body, buried under sand, left to be swallowed by nature and time. That's what happened to Ruth Marie Terry. She was left in a place meant for peace, face down in the sun, her dignity erased. But no matter how deeply someone tries to hide the truth, it always finds a way back. Today, her name is carved into a proper headstone. Her family knows what happened, and though her killer is beyond reach, the world finally sees her. Not as a mystery, not as a reconstruction or a file number, but as a woman, a life, a human being who mattered. Let her story be a warning of how evil hides in charm, of how justice delayed can still arrive, and of how the dead never stay silent forever. Rest in peace, Ruth. You were never truly lost, just waiting to be heard.